Hello, 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 and welcome to another episode of the GSMC Wrestling Laureate podcast, brought to you by the GSMC Sports Network. I'm your host, Eric Rodriguez here, your favorite wrestling fan. Hoping you guys had an amazing Wednesday. Hope you guys are getting through the week, pretty well. Hope you guys are looking forward to Thursday night football tomorrow, also Friday night SmackDown. Obviously, we have college football on Saturdays, and we have the NFL on Sunday. So, nice, handful of things to kind of look forward to kind of get us through the week, but we are almost there. 2 more days and, it's smooth sailing from here. Well, guys, thank you so much for tuning in to the GSMC Wrestling Laureate podcast brought to you by the GSMC Sports Network. We have a great show for you today on tap tonight. We're going to talk about some NXT. We're going to talk about AEW Dynamite, Title Tuesday. We're also going to talk about my way to early predictions of WWE Crown Jewel. And we're also going to talk about Candice LeRae becoming the inaugural WWE Women's Speed Champion. So kudos to her. Congratulations. In our fifth and final segment, something we do every Wednesday, I give you guys my Wednesday's weekly wrestling news roundup where, just kind of, give you guys a couple of breaking news headlines around the professional wrestling industry, kind of wrap your heads around and kind of ponder, any free time or whatever. So yeah, let's go ahead and jump on into it. But before we do any of that, I want to remind you guys, if you have a hot take or a burning question you are dying to get off your chest here at the GSMC Sports Network, we are all ears 1,010%. We are all about making sure that your voice is part of the mix. So don't be shy. Drop your thoughts inside that chat. And if you really want to make sure your comment, question, or concern gets noticed on the show and addressed, why not use that super chat? It's a $sign below that chat box. Whatever you put in there, it's going to be guaranteed to be featured on the show so we can have a nice little back and forth conversation about it. Obviously, love a lot of audience engagement. Yeah, and also, guys, it's a great way to support our channel. Keep the lights on in terms of all these GSMC sports podcasts. We bring you awesome content Monday through Friday. We are absolutely super grateful for each and every one of you guys who joins us here daily on for every single one of the shows. Your support makes all the difference. So let's keep the conversation going. Send in those super chats, those super stickers, because you guys are super awesome. And together we will make sure this show is bigger, better, and stronger than ever. Once again, if you're not down with the super chat, we are still at the GSMCpodcast.net. Hit up the tips and donations link. Tell me what you like. Tell me what you don't like. Just remember to Superman punch that like and subscribe button to the show. Follow the show, follow the network here at the GSMC Sports Network. We do love a lot of peace, love, and positivity, but criticism is all part of the game of sports. So obviously, feedback is a gift. Whatever you guys have to say, drop it inside that chat, and we'll have a nice little conversation about it. So let's go ahead and jump on into our first segment. It was a good episode, a great episode of WWE NXT. It was the second one on the CW. They were live in St. Louis, Missouri. It was pretty cool. You saw Trick Williams come out. He was super. Obviously, that's what the champion should look like. Not really any, opposition of why they would put the belt back on Trick. I think Ethan Page kind of, he did what he had to do. Like, you know what I mean? He kind of helped bridge NXT into that new era on the CW, and I think it's heading toward a great direction. Trick Williams is so over right now with the fans. The fans absolutely love him 1,010%. Also something just, just a little observation, just looking at the venue. I liked it. It looked a little bit about, kind of like classic Monday Night Raw at the Barclays Center kind of feel to it, which was pretty cool. Wes Lee came out, obviously, stating to Trick Williams that he wants a shot at the NXT Championship. But then out of nowhere, and when I say out of nowhere, it was out of nowhere. Main event, Jay Uso came, obviously the WWE Intercontinental Champion. Didn't really have much to say, just, came out and started yeeting, along with Trick Williams. Not, like I said, not really any purpose or anything like that. But obviously, yeah, it served his purpose to kind of gain more attention to, NXT, which is looking to stand on their own, debuting on shows and stuff like that. And it was kind of crazy because, it was surprising and it was pretty awesome. I got to be honest. Not really a surprise because, you had St. Louis. Monday Night Raw was in St. Louis. So it's kind of like, all right, we kind of knew that was, right around the corner. Wes Lee magically disappeared, which was kind of weird, and then Jay Uso and Trick Williams stayed in the ring while Bianca Belair and Jade Cargill came out and Kelani Jordan. and then they magically disappeared. So it was a little wonky. I gotta be honest, it was a little wonky, but obviously I understand why they did it. So then we had Kaylani Jordan, the NXT Women's North American Champion, teaming up with the WWE World Women's Tag Team Champions Jade Cargill and Bianca Belair, taking on the Fatal Influence. And obviously, this match was dead to right from the very get go. You saw Jordan, Jade, and Bianca pick up the victory. Not really any surprise there. Next, you see Roxanne Perez and Jade, Cora Jade come out to address what exactly should the fans interpret what happened between their partnership at the first episode last week when Julia was trying to dethrone Roxanne Perez for the NXT Women's Championship. Didn't really get much of they were kind of cut off, they were cut off, but I was so sure that Cora Jade was going to tell Roxanne Perez. She was like, you know what? Like I came here, but I thought she was going to kind of hint at wanting a shot at her NXT Women's title, but it never came along. Like I said, then Stephanie, no, then Julia came out first, and of course Stephanie Vaquer, then followed. But they came in, they beat them up. Now they have the NXT World Women's Championship held hostage, which is kind of funny, kind of cool. You know what I mean? I get it, but I don't know. It's I thought when Stephanie came out for the first time, I don't know. I just thought it would have been bigger. Like she did. Technically this isn't her first time. This isn't her first time. She was featured on the Titantron telling Julia and Roxanne Perez at their contract signing that she's going to be waiting in line for whoever has the belt next. So this alliance formed between Julia and Vaquer, obviously just temporary, much like I feel like this Cora Jade and Roxanne Perez alliance as well. Temporary. We're gonna have a tag team match probably between the two, sometime close. I think you might be advertised next week on NXT. But overall, it was a good promo. It was a good promo. Then you saw Lexis King wants to go ahead and challenge Ora Menta to a gentleman's duel. Thought that was pretty crazy. Ren Sinclair challenges Stephanie Vaquer for a match next week. Um, no doubt in my mind that you're probably going to see Roxanne Perez and Cora Jade get involved in that. Then we saw the match that was you know that was a little crazy. The Dawn of NXT, Tony D'Angelo dethrones the longest reigning WWE NXT North American Championship. He has the reign. He's number one in the longest reigns. Kind of crazy. He successfully retained the title 10 times. Obviously, made that title very, very prestigious. And the Don looked overpowered. He looked overpowered, but overall, he was able to kind of get it together, and he was ultimately, ready for. He was ultimately ready to kind of fight, and he's the new champion. He was ready to take the title. But a lot of mixed feelings about this match. I really thought Oba wasn't going to lose that belt until I think maybe much later. But now, he's probably going to take a little hiatus. Once when everything's figured out with the next challenger of the WWE NXT World Champion, Trick Williams, who he's going to fight next. There's no doubt in my mind he's going to, throw his hat inside that ring. And by all means, he deserves it. I don't know if he's going to invoke a rematch clause, which he probably should. But, I like that the WWE NXT North American Championship is now available, I guess you can say. So now there's a lot of mid-card wrestlers that can have a shot at, kind of being a superstar, kind of being bigger, kind of having a chance to kind of showcase their talents and exactly what what they have to do to become to be drafted to Raw or SmackDown if that's what they want to do because NXT is kind of its own entity right now. But a lot of people are like, "Oh no, I'm NXT," you know what I mean? But I know usually people are super thrilled to kind of come back. Nikita Lyons is back on NXT. Thought it was pretty cool. We have a WWE Women's Tag Team Titles match on SmackDown between Lash Legend and Migs Jackson. Waiting for that to be made official. A-Town Down Under, of course, lost against Axiom and Nathan Fraser for the WWE Tag Team Championships, which was great. I would have rioted if Austin Theory and Grayson Waller became champions. I got to be honest. When is it gonna end? Like, you know what I mean? Every single time you're watching these two guys, You're expecting someone to attack the other. You're expecting a breakup. One of them's going to be heel. One of them's going to be a babyface. And it's just questions like, when is it going to happen? Like, at this point, I'm kind of itching for it. You know what I mean? So, I was happy Axiom and Nathan Fraser retained. I thought that was pretty badass. Then he saw Riley Osborne attack Ridge Holland. Obviously, the Chase U is not done with Ridge Holland just yet. Sexy Red came out with the performance. She was interrupted by Ethan Page, who wants a rematch with his rematch clause. I was kind of happy that he interrupted, Sexy Red. Like, she started performing, and it was just like, I don't know, like, it just didn't seem like it necessarily, like, it didn't seem like it fit. Like, you know what I mean? She is from Atlanta, Georgia, and she has a lot of hometown crowd, friends and family that were probably inside the crowd as well. Um, but it was just, I don't know. Just didn't seem like it fit. Like, it seemed like it could have been, I don't know, maybe a little bit more, but the song she was singing, I was like, I don't know, it's just, I'm not trying to hate. I'm not trying to hate, on that, on music or anything like that. Really, not my cup of tea. But I do, I dabble in some hip hop and some rap here and there. But overall, I don't know. I just seemed like it wasn't, seemed like it could have been better. And I know I said that before, but I'm sticking to it. Sticking to it. All right, and then we have the main event. We have Javon Evans taking on Randy Orton. Not much to say about this match. It was Javon Evans was impressive for being young, but once again, good match. But Javon Evans is still a baby. He's still a baby in terms of in the wrestling industry. And the botch, he botched an RKO. After the match, he told Randy Orton that he's like, "Hey man, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry." Randy Orton was like, "You know what, man? It's okay. Don't worry. You're the man." Then raised his hand after the match, which was pretty cool. I liked that finish, and I liked how, because Randy Orton does kind of have a reputation of making people pay back for botching a move. And keeping those receipts, so to speak. So finally came to an understanding. Is like, you know what? He's just a kid. He's learning. He's only 20 years old. So not much you can do. Not much you can do there. All right, guys. So, hey, do not go anywhere. We talked about WWE NXT. Now we're going to talk about some AEW Dynamite's Title Tuesday. So grab your favorite snack, grab your favorite ice cold beverage, and join me here in about 20 seconds.